Yeah. So this the old safe bus right here. This it right here. This the new safe bus. You know what I'm saying? Look familiar? Bus at work. Now let me give you some history. Safe place. See the safe place? Yeah, man. That's the old safe bus right there. So if you lived in West End from 1926, mama, up into the 70s, you was on this way. Nobody rode the bus I've been on this safe bus, but you feel what I'm saying? Now, let me tell you something. What did I say? Before the 1970s? So, right when my grandmother, she was working at Brown and Williamson up in Louisville. It was founded out here, but she was working up in Louisville. And when she first came to the Triggity Trade 4 in 1981, so by that time, the safe bus had just got brought out. 1975, Tell Two Cities, Carlos A. Jones. This is where my grandma came to, right here. I wish I had my Winston-Salem in history book, bro. She came right to Oak Street, the Exchange. That's what they called it. 836. And they building up right here. You see, that's an old building. That means George Black had parts. So I'm showing you the old and the new. You know what I mean? And I really don't, I'm on a business trip right now, so I can't show you everything. You know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? Like, I showed you the old tobacco, where it came from yesterday. Caswell County. That's our nation. The gold leaf, that is our nation. Caswell, the Slades of Caswell County. And so my grandmother on my mother's side, she came here from Louisville, because Brown and Williamson, and we talked about Thomas J. Brown. You feel what I'm saying? That's what I was gonna show y'all. I'm gonna do some more. I'm gonna come out here another day and we're gonna show you Thomas J. Brown's factories and stuff like that on Main Street. So what I'm telling you is, my people from the Slades family was cultivating this tobacco out in Caswell, and my grandmother came to Shalom to braid the tobacco in the Browns manufacturing, Brown and Williamson. You feel what I'm saying? Right up the street here. Right up the street. And I showed you where she just moved. When she told me when she first moved here, that's where she came. She's still living. So in other words, the tobacco was being turned into gold leaves in my father's home, you know, his birth home. You know what I mean? And then it was being braided, twisted, and cartoned in my birth home by my grandmother. You feel what I'm saying? And Jack. And a lot of other of my homies and family and tribes, grandparents. It's so many stories that people that rode on them safe buses to come to, again, 1975, and Tell Two Cities. Carlos A. Jones. Go get it. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm about to show y'all. I got time. This is 6th Street. What time is it? What time we got? What time is it? Okay, it's in the second quadrant. So I got till 6. I got really till 7. I mean, not 7. I got about 10 minutes, which is enough time to show you this. You know what I'm saying? The tobacco, yeah, it was coming from Caswell and being warehoused in Shalom and auctioned off for whoever had the process to turn into a cigarette. Do that make sense? So, and these cigarettes was going worldwide. That's where you get the Camel, you feel what I'm saying? The Camel City, the Turkish blend. This is what this city, This is what the indigenous population of this city did. You know what I mean? R.J. Reynolds was just a name. That was just a name. Just like Daryl Q. Slade is just a name. You know what I mean? But it's about the people behind the name, right? It's the people behind the name. What they did. You know what I mean? Like, for my Chronicle picture, we left the Chronicle when it was right here on Trade Street. And I think we took it right here. I think we stood right there by Layla Garms, me, Cal Brown, Chinemeza Okoro, and myself. That's what you would call African Americans, because me and Cal was the Americans, and Chinemeza, the alarm clock, go reference the alarm clock by Daryl Q. Slade. Chinemeza was the African. So us coming together, we had an African American business. But if me and Cal would have went into business together, we would have had an American business. You feel what I'm saying? That's nationality. That's what you got. Winston, Dash, Salem. You feel what I'm saying? So, right here, all of this is the tobacco that was coming. I told you, it's coming in from Greensboro, right? Right here. These railroads right here. Coming right in here. The tobacco from Caswell County. You know what I mean? So again, it's commerce. Everything is about commerce. And nationality. Again, my dad worked in the tobacco fields and my grandmother worked in the tobacco plants. You know what I mean? And she come from Kentucky, which was the main tobacco producing province during that time. You know what I'm saying? Oh, by the way, dang, I'm trying to show y'all this and think for myself and shit. Here go historical marker. Let's come up on it. What we got? What we got? I gotta hop out. I'm gonna hop out because I'm just gonna hop out because it's Gola. That's Gola Church right there. I rode my grandma through here the other day, matter of fact. That's Gola right there. This used to be Mud Pa's daycare. I used to be an accountant for them. Up at Downtown Towers, Main Street, 14th floor. I have my own office. Shout out to Tony Burton for, you know what I'm saying, believing in a young nigga. You're gonna see African American, I guarantee it. There it go. I just told you what an African American was. You know what I mean? As west, so east. That's east and west. You know what I mean? Commercial enterprises. By you, the niggas. And here he is. I just told you, that article was published in 2014. You feel what I'm saying? So, the newspaper, first newspaper press, ain't nothing new under the sun, son. And this is where my grandmother stayed, right here. I mean, this is where her and my grandfather Jack worked at. Right here, the Gallery Lofts. You feel me? They met in this building, dog. They met in that building. All the tobacco came in from Caswell County to here. And they was braiding it, boxing it, and shipping it back out worldwide. You know what I mean? Worldwide distribution. All about trains. All about trains. And look, you got the Masons, the brick masons. Come on, dog. Prominent. So don't let nobody talk down on you. You know what I mean? If you came here from Africa, you ain't come here as no slave. You come from a heritage. You come from a tribe. You know what I'm saying? If you come from America, you come from a heritage. You come from a tribe. You know what I mean? And then you had the Scott Irish who came in and was claiming your birthright. The book Scott Irish that me and Hoodie talked about. They was saying they was coming over here from Scotland and Ireland and saying that they was North Carolinian You know what I'm saying? And Kentucky and all that. So that's birthright theft. That breaks the Monson Treaty. That's why they can only be 32-degree Masons and you can be the 33rd. Like my great-grandfather, William Henry the third. You know what I'm saying? So this, you know what I mean, 7th and Chess where we at. And that's Gola Ministries. So understand the African and American is the Semi and the Twa. But they're not going to tell you that. And now you got Moors that's saying it different. You know what I'm saying? Moors is trying to take you away from it completely. But you got to really comprehend what's going on. You know what I mean? That's Isis and Osiris. That's why I said Sirius is a binary star. That means African American. And not, like it can be translated to that. You know what I mean? Up and down. East and west. You know what I mean? Light and dark. So this is what this is all of this stuff is, you know. So this place right here, anybody can live there. Everybody can't work there though. You know what I'm saying? Anybody, my grandmother said her and Jack went back and toured this place, you know what I mean, as it became, you know, suites and lofts now. But they was the go. They like, and what you know about our people, cause we gonna have a system within a system. You feel me? It's gonna be a code within a code. You feel me? That's why we had Negro spirituals. Cause we was really running, you know what I mean? Harriet Tubman really was Moses. But they're not gonna tell you that. And Harriet Tubman Road is right up the street. You know what I mean? So I just showed you where it came from in Caswell, and then now I'm showing you where it went here in Shalom. And then again, Slade controlled the ports from Sladeville, you know what I mean, North Carolina, look it up, to Slade Castle in Wells. And then in Winston-Salem in history, it's going to tell you that the tobacco went from port to port. You feel what I'm saying? And it's going to tell you that it left the coast of here and went to England. If you go to England, you're going to come across Wales first. So that's Slade. You're going to look up Slade Castle if you think I'm shitting you. I don't have no family member that told me this. I'm just studying history just like any other scholar. I just so happen to be a Slade. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's the birth canals. That's why J. Rogers say the Negroes was all over Europe. At first it was for commerce, then it was for the war. That's why my uncle Jimmy, who has a book on the No More Soup site, you feel what I'm saying, has a German wife because of the war. Go get my Uncle Jimmy's book. But before, he would have been out there selling tobacco. You know what I'm saying? Out there in Germany and stuff like that. And getting vendors. You know? And suppliers. And people like me to distribute. And then while he out there, you're going to see a German wife, be she black or white. That's what Michael Jackson was trying to tell you. It was not a race issue. So we got nationality all over there. And that's been happening. Now, then you got to go into David McRitchie, Ancient and Modern Brits. So before the, you know what I'm saying, Eurocentric person who we see today, before them, we were still here doing the same thing. War and commerce and love in the midst of all of that. In the midst of commerce was love between Dorothy Jordan and Jackie Jordan. You know what I'm saying? In the midst of war, there was the love between Tikla Slade and Jimmy Slade. You know what I mean? And Darrell Louis Jones and Gordon Q. Slade Jr., who worked in the tobacco field. And my mother braided hair, just like her mother braided tobacco. How you think my mother knew how to braid tobaccos? I mean, hair so good. She had the best salon in this city. You know what I'm saying? So we honor the mother, honor my mother. So I would like to have a moment of silence for my mother and all the mothers that we lost. all the mothers who worked in them factories and in them fields behind the name R.J. Reynolds. You know what I mean? Now you got no more suits. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no more suits, Jack. You know what I mean? With books dedicated to you, Jack. Yeah, it's Friday, so we gotta go get that yak. I don't drink no more because I forgot how to act. Oh, dang. And on the day you died, Jack, Parliament published the Coinage Act in 1792. Whew. That's the year that the 502, you know what I mean, came on the scene. That's the University of Louisville. See that Cardinal? Yeah. When I go to Caswell, you be hearing the ringing bells. The slave returned. Yeah. But we ain't get burned, but them leaves still gold. Story ain't never been told, so I never fold. All these pages, just like all these papers, put them on the train. Alright. I'm just taking you down memory lane. And my son named Nasir, like Ebba Nazir. Slade. Yeah, man. Well, I'm getting ready to get off of here, man. Welcome to my city. City I was born in, because of this building right here. My mom would not have came to this city if my grandma was not working in this building. You feel what I'm saying? If she didn't come here, then she wouldn't have met my father, and you wouldn't see these hands. You know what I'm saying? Letter from mom. This is my letter from my mother. She said, "Sean, I knew you was gonna shine. Even when I seen you in Atlanta, I knew the doctors was telling me you can't have no baby. You too old, your tubes tied." But I was like, God was like, you got a son and he gonna shine like the golden leaves. Sheesh. Shalom, my nigga. That mean peace.